Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Shauna's Spilling the Presley Tea. And we are at part four. Part four of Kruse, Fialko, PPP versus Priscilla Presley. I'm going to be on, but not very long, just long enough for us to get to more nitty-gritty. Got to take my son to martial arts class tonight, and I'll probably only have maybe 20-something minutes to give you guys tonight. So sorry, but I'll be live tomorrow night. So join me tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to talk about what we have learned from reading all this week. Okay, guys? So please join me Friday for the live. So, okay. Let's get started. I'm going to get to it. Just know that this is for entertainment purposes only, okay, folks? I'm reading you the documents and giving you my own personal opinion of said documents, all right? So just bear with me on this one. We got to the part C. We're like at page 22. Priscilla Presley agrees not to exploit her name, image, and likeness, not to compete or to assist virtual recollection, exploitation of her NIL. Okay, now we are going to discuss, let me move this screen over here. We're going to discuss what is in this August filing. They're talking fraud, breach of contract, interference tied to work. The pair, Fialko and Brigitte Kruse, say they did for Priscilla after Lisa Marie's death, especially brokering peace with Riley Keough that yielded $2.4 million for Priscilla. We went through that last night. Priscilla allegedly cut them out and disparaged them, she says. They defrauded and elderly abused her. All right? Now, the plaintiffs seek $50 million in damages and say Priscilla hid that she'd earlier sold certain name image rights. Priscilla flatly disrupts this. Of course she's going to deny it though, folks, you know? So we're going to start reading where I left off. Let's see if it was right. Here. Soon after signing the operations agreement, Priscilla began flagrantly at them. And I know that's probably not the right word. It's probably flagrantly. Violating them by exploiting her name, image, and likeness, apart from PPP and its sub-licensees. Kruse and Fialko realized that Priscilla was deceiving them regarding her intentions to comply with the operation agreements that they had signed. When Kruse and Fialko raised these issues with Priscilla, however, she begged them to stay on and continued to help. Despite the hardships that their other businesses pursued and personal affairs, Kruse and Fialko agreed to stay with Priscilla on the condition that she agreed to fully disclose her business dealings to them as they arose. Thus, a month after signing the operating agreement, Kruse and Fialko, Kruse and Priscilla entered into an additional agreement to clarify Priscilla's duties relating to the name, image, and likeness. On March 24th, 2023, Priscilla and Kruse entered into a grantor, settler, and principal ongoing duty to disclose business opportunities, the disclosure agreement. In the disclosure agreement, Priscilla agreed to immediately disclose in writing to Kruse should she receive any offer to use her name, image, and likeness. Priscilla further acknowledged that failure to disclose such offers as required could result in great risk of loss to Presley's ongoing established LLC interests, including PPP, PB, PBK2, recollections, and virtual recollections. We're at part E. Priscilla Presley abruptly cuts off Kruse and Fialko and misappropriates the name, image, and likeness. Through August 2023, Kruse and Fialko continued their efforts to exploit Presley's name, image, and likeness on behalf of PPP, PB, PBK2, recollections, and virtual recollections. They launched merchandise, arranged global bookings, public engagements, and launched new ventures, both physical and digital. They further expended significant capital developing new products and intellectual property intended to be marketed in conjunction with upcoming 2023 release of the movie Priscilla. Okay? August 27th, 2022 and January 8th, 2023, respectively. For instance, Kruse and Fialko used their personal funds to pay for Priscilla's travel to an auction of Elvis-related jewelry, the Colonel Tom Parker collection, and the Meckham Kissimmee collector car auction, where Elvis's jet was sold to enhance Priscilla's publicity and increase the value of her name, image, and likeness. Kruse and Fialko additionally paid for the jewelry and the jet to put Priscilla in the spotlight and increase the value of her name, image, and likeness. In preparation for Priscilla, Kruse and Fialko requested script revisions, negotiated appearance fees, hired skated arts, and renegotiated Priscilla's original contract with Priscilla's producers, which reported to own Priscilla's full name, image, and likeness, and collected funds owed to Priscilla that her prior managers had failed to collect. Additionally, Kruse and Fialko negotiated appearance fees, travel expenses, including traveling to Italy, appearance fees, glam, I guess glam must be, getting her look on, wardrobe, security, hotel accommodations for Priscilla and her team, including Kruse and Fialko to attend Priscilla's premiere at the Venice Film Festival on September 4th, 2023. On August 24th, 2023, however, Kruse unexpectedly received notice revoking her power of attorney for Priscilla. The next day, Kruse received a letter from an attorney, Michael Frock, which was sent on behalf of Priscilla, alleging a range of false and far-fetched claims against her, such as an allegation that Kruse had attempted to sell Priscilla's home. Priscilla's counsel later acknowledged this accusation was based on Priscilla's misunderstanding. Regardless, after this letter, Priscilla cut off communication with Kruse and Fialko and other individuals associated with them. So she cut them off. Let me keep going. On information and belief, defendant Morgan helped convince Presley to cut ties with Kruse and Fialko. Although Presley assured Kruse and Fialko that she would not associate with Kia Morgan, after Kruse and Fialko expressed concerns about his character, Priscilla continued to publicly associate with him. And we found out some really cool stuff last night. Let me show you guys something. And thank you so much, Frederick Smith, for pointing this out. I did send it to Kruse, and she was very happy that you actually pointed out what Kia Morgan's real name is. Folks, Kia Morgan has another alias. It's not good to have an alias, because that means you're up to no good. So, it just means you're up to no good when you gotta use another name, right, folks? So let me show you something here. the comment because I forgot the name and I have to look at my comments from last night. So give me a second. It'll only take me a second, guys, and then we'll go back to what we were at. Coming. Oh, we had so many comments last night. Thank you guys for responding. Frederick Smith. I've done some sleuthing on the mysterious Mr. Kia Morgan. Firstly, his real name is Kailash Mashari. Secondly, there is a picture on the internet of him dining out with Priscilla and Jerry Schilling back around 2020, give or take. So she knew him previously, and how Jerry enters into it is a mystery. So thank you, Frederick. It was nice that you told us all this. I gave the information to Brigitte, and she's very thankful. So thank you so much for sharing that information. She's going to put that to good use. So thanks very much, Frederick. Okay, so we're going to go back to where I was. Okay. All right. Here we go. Additionally, on information and belief, Vicky Hakkinen, Priscilla's assistant, Barbara Everson, Priscilla's cousin, and Navarone also helped convince Priscilla to cut off communication with Kruse and Fialko, and have consistently interfered with the businesses created to exploit Priscilla's name, image, and likeness. Just days before the $2.4 million settlement payment with Riley Keough and the Promenade Trust was finalized, which Kruse and Fialko had worked tirelessly to negotiate, Kruse and Fialko were terminated. That's right, you know, because we all know that she uses people for what she needs. And once she gets what she wants, she lets you go. So terminated is an understatement. Kruse and Fialko were never compensated for their work, despite helping to secure Priscilla a $2.4 million settlement. Ultimately, Kruse and Fialko were never compensated for resolving Priscilla's numerous lawsuits and managing Priscilla's family issue so that she could properly exploit her brand. Although PPP was integral to the Priscilla movie, having worked on the project for over a year, Kruse and Fialko were excluded from September 4, 2003 premiere. Priscilla further refused to cooperate with and indeed actively undermined Kruse and Fialko's efforts to exploit the name, image, and likeness opportunities presented by the premiere on behalf of PPP and Virtual Recollections. So there's that, guys. Without being in attendance, Kruse and Fialko could not execute their plan to sell on behalf of PPP and Virtual Recollections at the premiere and lost the opportunity to pursue further relationships with Priscilla's producers. Kruse and Fialko intended to use premiere launch worldwide and merchandise they were developing based on Presley's NIL. Priscilla also included plaintiffs from fees from Priscilla's upcoming book deal and from exploit her brand in connection with the recent Naked Gun film release. Because, you guys, she has a cameo part in that new Naked Gun movie that just came out. Yep, very small one, but yeah. Excluding Kruse and Fialko from the Priscilla premiere breached Priscilla's duty to use her best efforts to advance the interests of Virtual Recollections and to assist Virtual Recollections in establishing and preserving relationships with customers, potential customers, vendors, suppliers, partners, and co-venturers. It also breaches Priscilla's duty not to usurp Virtual Recollection business opportunity. Given Virtual Recollection's business purpose, Priscilla was required to assist, not to usurp Virtual Recollections opportunities related to its function as a live event booking merchandise company that utilizes celebrities and their likenesses for the purposes of booking events, merchandising, and other matters. Okay, let's see how much further I have until we go someplace else. Okay, guys. Here, I'm going to keep going just for a little bit longer, but then I got to go. Then we're going to do part 5, and I'll tell you when part 5 will start, okay? Part 5 will probably be, it won't be Friday, it won't be tomorrow because that's live. We're just going to talk about what we learned so far. So, part 5 will be Monday. Is that okay, guys? All right. Just days after the premiere of Priscilla on September 7, 2023, NBC announced that Presley would participate in a production called Christmas at Graceland, which we really didn't see her on it. I think it was her image on the big screen on the house. I think that's what they're talking about. Okay. Priscilla did not disclose any offers related to this use of her name, image, and likeness to Kruse, breaching the disclosure agreement Kruse made with Priscilla to she needed to disclose any name, image, and likeness, anything that she was doing, making money off of her name, image, and likeness that Kruse didn't know about would make her breach the disclosure agreement. And she didn't tell Kruse that her image was going to be in Christmas at Graceland. So that's a no-no, Prissy Pants. You did breach the contract, I would say, in my personal opinion, okay? Christmas at Graceland aired on NBC on November 29, 2023. Again, Priscilla's failure to include Kruse and Fialko in this use of her name, image, and likeness breached her affirmative duty to assist virtual recollections and her duty not to usurp opportunities from virtual recollections. Additionally, Priscilla breached her duty under the PPP agreement not to exploit her name, image, and likeness apart from PPP and its authorized sub-licensees. Priscilla's participation and use of her image in this production was without consent by PPP and virtual recollections. Currently, Priscilla's website, PriscillaPresley.com, offers an appearance request function and lists recent and upcoming appearances. On information and belief, Priscilla is paid for these appearances and uses them to promote and exploit her celebrity, among other things, by selling photo ops, autographs, memorabilia signings, and voice recordings. Prissy Pants. For instance, the webpage for August 23rd, 25th, 2024, Tampa Comic Convention advertises under Priscilla's image, guest experiences, celebrity autographs, celebrity photo ops, panel programming, photo ops $100, pre-purchase now, and autographs are $60, available on site at Celebrity Row. Priscilla also previously announced that she was appearing at the Motor City Comic-Con in Michigan on November 9th and 10th, 2024, where it was publicly advertising that Priscilla would be available for autographs for $60, fan item autographs $80, 6-word quotes $20, selfies $80, professional photo ops $100. You know, Elvis never asked for a daggum cent. He could sign anything you asked him to sign. He'd sign it. He didn't ask for anything. And Lisa Marie didn't either. Where does this woman think? Why does she think so highly of herself? Like, why do that? Her ex-husband didn't even do that. Her own daughter didn't even do that. But here she is. And I've mentioned this before. Priscilla has not disclosed any offers she received to attend these events, breaching her disclosure agreement. So see, guys, she's already breached the contract, breached 3 different contracts that she signed with Fialko and Kruse. And her own lawyer, Wright, was there in the chair reading her the paperwork as she was signing. So she can't say she wasn't there. She can't recall because she's on video camera. So you know, she infuriates me sometimes. I mean, more than sometimes, guys. I mean, ugh. You know, who does this crap? Priscilla Presley, of course. You know, so anyways, guys, I'm going to let you sit on all that, absorb what we just talked about this evening, and I'll get back with you for part 5 on Monday, okay? I got to go take my kid to his Brazilian martial arts class, and then I got to come home and make dinner and hopefully unwind and pass out and go to bed because I've had a long day at work. So anyways, guys, you could have went to any Elvis channel for your Kruse, Fialko, PPP versus Priscilla Presley uh, lawsuit breakdown, but you didn't. You came to mine, and for that, I love each and every one of you for it. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I'll be with you guys tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern Time, okay? We'll be live. We're going to talk about everything we learned this week together, okay, guys? All right. TCBTLC, God bless you all. And you know what? I'll see you on the other side, of course. And Friday. Bye, everybody. Talk to you then, all right? Bye now.